So one thing I didn't like about this series, is how they talk about Joe, Eve, and then like when she meets another strong female, it's like if she's gonna do something she thinks Joe is not gonna like or react too badly, it's like Joe is not intelligent enough or strong enough to overcome his instinctual reactions. Or sometimes Eve acts like Joe is her parent or something. Like he's trying to control her, and it's better to seek forgiveness than to ask permission, kind of thing. I'm not happy. Yeah, I don't like this. And I also think I did not read the book before this, which focused on a case with Catherine Ling, who is so far prominent in this book. So we'll see. But yeah, it's been a while since I like chatted about a book, so I thought I'd do it. Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, the 14th of October. We're here with a new weekly vlog. It's not your imagination if you're subscribed and you follow my weekly vlogs. I did skip a week. I skipped last week. Mostly because I didn't have very much filmed. I didn't film because I didn't do much, or I didn't think I did much, but then looking back, I did do things. So when I went to like put together all of the clips I had, I think I had 4. And then I never did an intro like this, telling you what my plans were for the week, even though I did do a weekly setup. And I didn't, what do you call it? I didn't, like, I went to do the outro and I was like, well, I don't have very many clips. But this was my weekly setup from last week. And yeah, I edited my vlog for week 6 and uploaded it. I edited the reading wrap up and uploaded it. I edited and uploaded the third quarter depth year update, as well as planned, and did continue doing like the True Speaker People Pleaser challenge by Hermit's Mirror, even though I didn't upload very often. Otherwise, it was mostly just recovery. I saw my doctor, the surgeon, for the first time, my first post-op appointment. They took the staples out. Pain is at a minimum. I can walk around lots, not quickly still, but still walking around. I can take the stairs. I put on leggings, so that's wonderful. The first time I did it, it was like painful, but the next time, which was yesterday, it was great. It was fine, which is nice, because I have lots of dresses, but they don't keep my legs warm. So yeah, I the only other thing is now I have a new medication to take, metoprolol. I don't really take the pain meds anymore. I don't take the stool softener anymore because your girl was good. The metoprolol is for the heart issue, that the arrhythmia that they discovered while I was in recovery, so that's fun times. But yeah, I was just recovering. I watched season 2 of Stranger Things, and I've read 3 books, which I'm quite proud of. I read, I don't have them with me. If I'll remember, I can include a thing, but I read 3 books. Just, sorry, the names are not coming to me right now, so whatever. Now, so that was last week. Not a lot going on. I thought the week of the surgery I would not have much filmed, but I did. So that's just gonna be the week that disappeared from for me. This week coming up, my plans. I'm feeling pretty good. I want to travel more. We're going to try the bus and the subway, which I haven't done yet. But if those go well, I will go back to work. In essence, babysitting for a friend of mine. And that's only one day every other week. So Thursday, I'll go out to Brooklyn, babysit. I'll be reading. I'm already a third of the way through Eve by Iris Johansen, and I hope to finish also The Bourbon Kings by J.R. Ward. This is a contemporary series by her that I have not. I don't even know if it's a series, but it's yeah, it's a series. It's the first in a series, and it sounds interesting, so I'm interested in reading it. If I can, I'll read The Education of Margot Sanchez as well. That being said, I'll probably start getting ready for SpookAthon. The books that I want to read are coming in at the library, so yay. The other book I want to finish is it's a novella, Once Ghosted, Twice Shy, which is the follow-up to a book I read last week. Oh, A Princess in Theory, that's what I read last week. And it's only like 100 pages. I have the ebook on my phone, which is charging. But yeah, just like getting back into posting regularly on social media for my business. Figuring out where I need to restock on some ingredients, particularly butters and oils, because it's that time of the year and I never restocked after last year, or last winter I should say. So, but I need to do some pricing to see if it's cheaper for me to just go to Brooklyn and pick up, which I was doing in years before, or order online from a new place that I've been using for the past 9 months or so. Video wise, I filmed a series I want to finish video. You can't see the books, but they're stacked up. So editing, uploading that, editing and uploading, or filming and editing and uploading my September flip through and review. And yeah, today I think we're gonna see my grandmother, and then at some point go to the High Line. So taking that train ride, walking around, sitting, that kind of thing. God damn, this always happens, and then no one is there to answer the phone. Anyway, I'm in my Q4 review, finally. I can't think of what else. Oh, so the full moon was last night. Yesterday I was not feeling good. I was fighting the flu. I feel better today, thank goodness. So I'll probably do some full moon things tonight. And that is all I can think of. And you know, just recovery stuff. Like, I'm not fully recovered, but I can be active. So yeah, I want to be active. I need to move and do. I feel that full moon energy. It's full moon in Aries, for those who are not aware. And Aries is like the first sign, the starter, and it's a fiery sign. So it's like, get up, get going, get things started. And for me as a Scorpio, where it falls on my chart, it's just very like powerful. And I feel that. I feel confident. I feel powerful. I feel like I can get things done, and I want to while the feeling is there. That's one thing, like, I've learned, I guess, with my astrological studies, it's not so much, for me personally, not so much like belief and this stuff is real and it has influence on you. It's just I have a label to put on what I'm feeling and to go with that feeling. Like, if that's how I'm feeling, then do the things or not do the things, depending on what the feeling is. But right now, it's do the things. So I want to do the things while I feel good, while I feel fresh, I feel new. I keep feeling up my stomach. There's like a weight off. Um, Not literally, I still weigh the same, which is interesting. But yeah, there's a weight off, and I realized this is getting rambly and chatty, but I realized I first discovered or felt the fibroids around the time where I after I'd lost my job. I'd been out of a job for a while, and I was feeling the beginnings of like the major anxiety and depression. Um, so this is not causation in my head, it's more like correlation. It's just like now that the fibroids are gone, it's like that weight has been lifted. Everything that's happened during that time, I feel like I can finally move on from. And maybe that was in the back of my head um, when I was making the decisions last year and this year about what to do about fibroids. But yeah, so, and speaking of which, this is what happens when I wash my hair and then sleep on it. I was watching books and Lala's talking about how, this is how my hair looks. It looks so bad. This is what happens when I wet it and then sleep on it. And I'm just like, it's bouncy and poofy. And this is what happens when your hair is super thick and super curly and you sleep on it. I've taken a shower. I'm gonna get dressed now. So it's not like quite like this. This is pretty much how I woke up. I gotta just, rearrange my hair and go out. Bye. Hey, so it's Wednesday. Um, I was thinking, because this vlog I haven't taken very many clips like B-roll or anything like that. I was like, maybe this should be, because that's mostly what I'm doing, like kind of reading vlog. So yeah, first, things are a little bit shaky because I have the tablet balanced on some books, balanced on a pillow on the bed, which I am also sitting on. So I'm gonna try not to move too much. I was gonna like comb my hair, which is why it looks kind of like this, but yeah. So let's start with a reading update. This week I finished, well, the last thing I finished was Eve by Iris Johansen, a thriller which I've been wanting to get to for the longest time. and I finally finished it. I'm not ecstatic about how things went, but I don't hate it, so I'm just gonna let it go. Just gonna let it go. I'm looking at my Goodreads to see what I finished. I guess that's this week. Is it this week? No, it's not this week. So yeah, this is the only thing I finished this week. Last week I finished A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole and Shadow Shaper by Daniel Jose Older. And yeah, they were both roughly around. They're the same like likability as far as I'm concerned as Eve. So whatever. Um, you may or may not realize this, but now, at least for my reading wrap ups, I get most of my books from the public library, unless I'm rereading something. And I'm also concerned about Eve and the Bourbon Kings. So these two were due back today, and shit, I'm just remembering that. Yeah, so I finished Eve in time, and I went to pick up the Bourbon Kings. So I thought this was the Bourbon Thief, and it's not. And so I was like, I'll read two thriller-ish type books, and I'll be well in my world because it's October. That's what I feel like I'm in the mood for. The Bourbon Kings is not really thriller-ish, so excuse me. I don't know. This is a contemporary, um, and it's set in the South in a bourbon, in the bourbon capital of the world, basically. Like it, I think it's a more romance than anything else. I don't think like there may be some suspense, but it's not thriller. I can't be great. Anyway, The Bourbon Thief, this here, by Tiffany Reese Rice, is a thriller. Um, and that's what I wanted to read. So I took it out with the intention of like renewing The Bourbon Kings and then reading that later along with The Education of Margot Sanchez and The House of Impossible Beauties, which I still have. But in the meantime, getting out the books I requested for Witchathon, the Samhain Witchathon. And I'm trying to figure out now, because I didn't solidify my TBR, I'm probably film that sometime this weekend, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I don't know. Um, I'm looking up the prompts because I haven't written them down because I haven't decided. Like what I would normally do is like start making a spread in my bullet journal so I can go back and forth and figure out what books fit what. But I didn't do that yet. So y'all, uh, but I'm not reading anything in 2019. So yeah, I think that helped me decide what fit what. The other thing I was thinking about was this week, actually, from the 14th to the 20th, yes, is SpookAthon. And that is more difficult. Um, because I wasn't planning on reading. So it's like read a thriller. I read but I'm not reading anything in 2000. So yeah, I just dropped the tablet is plugged in while I was charging. So read a thriller. I read Eve. That counts as a thriller. Read a book with red on the cover. So nothing else I have has red on the cover. So if I read The Bourbon Thief, there are some. There's like some red leaves there. What else do I got? or a spookathon. Read a book with a spooky setting. I don't know. Um, I don't know. Read a book with a spooky word in the title. Nothing I'm interested in has a spooky word in the title, unfortunately, so that's not gonna happen. Like, I'm not like trying to force these things, but especially since I told myself no more readathons this year. Let me see. I've got Sherlock Holmes, which I'm thinking about um reading more of for the in-between books, just as palette cleansers. Um, and I do want to finish the memoirs of Sherlock. So what I have on my Nook, yes, I have Kindle and Nook apps, is the complete, what is this? It's so annoying, I tell you. The complete works of Sherlock Holmes, or the complete Sherlock Holmes works, whatever. It's every single Sherlock Holmes story that author Conan Doyle has written, and I've been reading it for the past 2 years. Um, so yeah, the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes is a bunch of short stories. I'm about halfway through that. I thought maybe I could finish because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. Ritual, is that a spooky word? I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. So that might count. I don't know if any of those have a spooky setting though, but I do know it's also Victober, which is reading Victorian fiction during the month of October, and though finishing that would finishing the memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, that is the last of what I haven't read, Sherlock Holmes stories I haven't read that were written before the year 1901. So Victorian era is 1837 or something like that to 1901. So yeah, that, and I might jump in and grab the two Dickens plays that are the group reads for Victober. They're short, and again, they would be nice palette cleansers, and there is lots of Victorian literature that I would like to get to, and I just stumbled across that the other day. So I thought, why not? And the last prompt for SpookAthon is read something outside your comfort zone. If I read The House of Impossible Beauties, that would definitely fit. The House of Impossible Beauties is what the Netflix show Pose. Jesus, sorry. Pose is about. It's about the ball scene in New York City, which is like gay, uh, good lord. I don't even, like, I know why that word came to mind, but that's not the word that is important here. Cross-dressing. Anyway, look it up and figure it out. It's a non-fiction book. I'm more interested in reading the book than watching the show, to be perfectly honest. Reading the book might make me watch the show, or more interested in watching the show though. So we'll see. But yeah, those are all the books I want to read in October. Margot Sanchez, the education of Margot Sanchez is definitely not happening until November at this point. The Bourbon Kings is probably not going to happen until November either, because that's more like romantic suspense than anything, and that's not what I thought. I thought I had The Bourbon Thief which is definitely like more thrillery. There's, thievery happening and all of that. So suspense is good, but I was looking for something a little darker. The other thing is watching TV. I've been avoiding watching the shows I said I was going to watch. That's literally all I've been doing lately is watching YouTube videos and reading. So I thought maybe this should be like more reading updated-ish because I might have to skip another week otherwise. But yeah, because my only other plans this week is to edit and upload videos and babysit tomorrow, and that's it. So yeah, more talking, chatty vlog as I discuss my reading plans. Um, hopefully I will start the Bourbon Kings this week and read some, like, I don't, Sherlock Holmes, read some Sherlock Holmes. Bye guys. Hey guys, I thought I'd check in because God knows there's not going to be clips, montage clips much. So yeah, continuing with this kind of, I guess, reading focused reading vlog, I have jumped in fully with SpookAthon. So I'm like 62% into reading the ebook of The Bourbon Thief, and we got to this part where this old man is telling a story about the island that they're on, and legacy. Basically, the third son of this French comte came to the island. He made his fortune on the island, and the whole American dream, basically. And then he was like, oh, he wants a legacy. Man can't live on just money alone. He wrote to his father like, oh, I need like a wife so we can have sons, and then I'll have a legacy. Legacy is such a strange concept to me personally. I understand it, the definition, but it's not something I can give two shits about. Personally, I don't have a problem with most other people who want to have a legacy, who want to leave a legacy, who even want to make their mark on the world. Go you for having that, but that is something that's such a foreign concept for me. I don't care about having children. I would like to have that experience, but if I don't, so yeah, I don't hate kids and I don't like not want to have any, but it's not a big deal to me. Um, I don't want to pass down anything to my children. Like, that's not important to me at all. Like, I have zero, zero interest. Um, and as far as like, you know, making my mark on the world, that's not important to me either. I don't want to be nothing. I want to matter, but that does not equate to making my mark on the world, or I don't know. It's just like, I don't want to leave a business behind that future generations can be like, yeah, that's something that she did. I don't care. Um, I care about the here and the now. While I'm here, that's it. Once I'm dead, that's it. That's how I feel. So yeah, that's it's anytime I come across that, I'm always just like, that's weird. Okay, moving on. But yeah, I just wanted to chat about that real quick because why not? What else is gonna be in this vlog? What do you guys think about like leaving a legacy? Am I strange and weird? I know I'm strange and weird. I'm okay with that. I don't like this is not the hill I'm gonna die on as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, leave your thoughts respectfully in the comments if you have any. See you. Good morning, everyone. I literally woke up a few minutes ago, maybe half an hour. I just wanted to give you a really, really quick update. Uh, Last night, this morning, around 1 a.m., I finished the Bourbon Thief. That book was wow. That was not a thriller. Um, it was a bit suspenseful. I learned that it was actually a Southern Gothic novel, and wow, that book went nowhere I was expecting it to. But I read it quickly because the whole time I'm like, wait, what the? What's gonna happen next? What does this mean? Why are things like this? Um, Even the format, like how the story was told, it was like a story within a story, and a couple of times, the story within a story within a story. So, yeah, and I think I'm still a little bit confused by, I don't want to say the ending, but the main character, Paris, her plans going forward confused me a little bit, or at least the motivation for her plans for the future. Like, or why? Yeah. So anyway, I was surprised right off the bat because this involved black people, and I didn't know. I was not expecting that. Um, the book was the story kind of matched more to me what I was expecting from the other bourbon book, the Bourbon Kings. So I guess they had more in common than I was expecting. Anyway, right now I'm trying to decide what book to start next. I've got, because I do read first thing in the morning, I've got the Bone Season, which I've been wanting to read since last year, and it didn't fit my Witchathon TBR, but I remembered like I have this as like a book I want to read this year. That would be for SpookAthon, my book with a spooky word in the title. I think Bone Bits. The other option is The House of Impossible Beauties, and this would be my reading a book outside my comfort zone. It is fiction. I thought it wasn't. I think it is. I don't know. Anyway, it's about the Harlem ball scene, which is like, what do you call it? Well, you can look it up. Anyway, it's not ballroom dancing, that's for sure. I'm just not awake enough to explain this. Also, I'm having palpitations. They started like just before I went to sleep last night, so there's that. It's kind of distracting, basically. So I took my pill. At this point, this is like, I think the third time it's happened since I got out of the hospital. This is, I'm gonna make a thing in my bullet journal about that, a list, because I'm taking the medication they gave me. I have an appointment December 2nd, and I think it would be good to have like a list of like when I had the palpitations and how long they lasted. So yeah, I'm okay. It's just really distracting. Otherwise, I worked yesterday, so I'm going to, I worked, meaning I babysat. That's where I was, at someone else's house babysitting. Um, that was my work for the week. Today, I think I might film my Witchathon TBR video. Otherwise, right now, other than reading, and there's breakfast, and there's the newest episode of BTS Run. It was postponed from Tuesday due to Sully's death, um, which is respectful and sad. It's sad. I'm not gonna go into that, but yeah, Run BTS episode 87. I'm looking forward to it. They'll have me dying laughing. Enjoy your days. There it is. Okay. It's Monday the 21st. Gonna wrap up this vlog. I should have wrapped it up last night, but I was too lazy. I got about a little over halfway through. This is what I have left to read of the bone season. And I got to this point at around 8 last night, and so I was like, I'm not gonna finish this tonight. So, which means I'm not gonna read The House of Impossible Beauties for SpookAthon. I should just end it, but I didn't because I was lazy. And then, of course, I read no more. I read like fan fiction or whatever. So let's wrap this up. SpookAthon is officially over. I'm gonna finish reading this book and the next one, obviously. I hope, oh, excuse me, to finish. So I can jump right into Witchathon on the 24th. So to wrap things up, all I did this week basically was read, and I traveled like long distance for the first time. I went all the way to Brooklyn to babysit for a friend of mine, which I do every once in a while as an additional like source of income. But that's the furthest I've gone, and the longest I've been on public transportation since my surgery 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago. So yeah, that was a big deal. And other than that, SpookAthon. So read a thriller. My thriller was Eve by Iris Johansson. Read a book with red on the cover. That was the ebook here. The Bourbon Thief, which I found out was Gothic, Southern Gothic novel. Yeah, this, come on, give me the things back. Read a book with a spooky setting. Honestly, so there's a whole section in Eve where they're in the woods. It's towards the end where the well, the fight scene, yes, but the confrontation as a whole happens. Um, and as in the um in the bone season, they're in Oxford, and it's like in the future, so it's crumbly and creepy. There's a whole outdoor space with woods and all of that. And in the Bourbon Thief, they're in Kentucky. There's like Bride Island, which has a whole romantic but also creepy backstory. So everything I've read this week has a spooky setting. That was not an issue. Read a book with a spooky word in the title, and that for me was The Bone Season. The Bone Season. Read something outside your comfort zone, genre, tone, format, author, etc. I'm gonna go ahead and say The Bourbon Thief for that, because even though I had The House of Impossible Beauties set to be read for that, and I will read this. The Bourbon Thief turned out to be not at all what I thought it was going to be. The whole time I was just like, eyes wide open. I wasn't scared. I was just like, what the, what, what? The format, the genres, a Southern Gothic novel. The only Gothic novels I think I've ever read have been like classics, and I haven't even read too many of those. So yeah, that's my wrap up. I enjoyed SpookAthon. We'll see if I'll do it again next year. I'm really attached to Witchathon, so it's difficult. But I saw so many other readathons for October that I was like, oh, that might be interesting. So yeah, that was my week. The other thing that I'll add here at the end is my grand aunt Shirley passed away Sunday. No, I think it was Saturday actually. And Sunday was when the news really went out, and the plans for what's gonna happen with her. We found out the week I had my surgery, like after I came back, that she, or no, before I left, that she was probably going to pass away soon. I think they had taken her off life support, and then it just happened this weekend. So next week is going to have more going on than originally planned, but it's okay. She is 80 something years old. She lived a full and mostly happy life, and it happens. Death happens. So yeah, that is it for this week. I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.